12 of this week's precious metals market update. I want to go right to what's going on in Japan. We've had helicopter Ben Bernanke visit Japan here in the last week and a half to help them solve their deflationary pressures that's going on there. As many of you know, Prime Minister Abe now controls 77 of the 78 seats in Parliament over there, and the first consultant they bring in is Ben Bernanke to figure out how much money to create on a quantitative easing program. This affects us in many, many ways. First of all, Tanaka Holdings, the 50, 60-year-old company that sells gold in Japan, had their biggest month by 60% last month they've ever had. We're now seeing the investors sitting there realizing that their 40-year bonds are paying 0.22%. In other words, 0.2%. And we're even seeing Abe, they're nicknaming it Abenomics, talking about issuing a perpetual bond with no maturity, and you just give the Japanese government 10,000 yen, and you probably will never get your money back. It just keeps the government alive for a while longer. But we in America have the big risk that when they see the helicopters start dropping money, and we start seeing a pickup in inflation, we start seeing an economic growth generated by paper money, then it's going to be a bad situation in the U.S. because they have the second most U.S. bonds, somewhere around $1.2 trillion of U.S. bonds that they could liquidate to come over when the investment market heats up due to the quantitative easing or the dropping of money by the Central Bank of Japan. And Tanaka is reporting shortages in Japan for physical metal at a time of the year. There's never any delays in gold or silver this time of year in the 40 years I've done it. And yet here we see some delays on some products in the US and products overseas also, which tells you the central banks are buying. And my recurring statement is sometime between now and September 15th, China will announce their gold holdings to get their special drawing rights with the IMF. So we've got tremendous things working for precious metals investors that have already seen silver up 45% this calendar year and gold up 27 to 28% in just 6.5 months in the year 2016. So, and we're going in, the best time of the year historically is September, October, November, and early December for the metals. And we could see severe shortages, especially if the crops in India turn out to be as good as are estimated. When you have Indian buying, you have helicopter money coming into Japan, you have a $19 trillion deficit here, and no hope of ever paying it off. In fact, we saw a warning out of Switzerland this week where the sovereign debt in this world has hit $100 trillion, of which nearly 20 trillion of it is in the US. And if there's anybody listening that thinks there's any chance that $1 of this will ever be paid off, you've got to be crazy. We can't even get a balanced budget. We're still $800 billion a year in debt. We have no balanced budget in sight, and that debt is going, sovereign debt is going to continue to skyrocket until the day comes when they just start it over. They close down the world system and go to a go-back standard. And whether that's next year or 5 years, I can't tell you. I really can't. I hear a lot of things, talk to a lot of people, but I can't tell you when that might happen. But what I can tell you is, if you're interested in getting a percentage of your metals in gold and silver for investment, for store of value, for the restart of a new currency in the future, to have something with no counterpart debt in your possession, I would be getting it now, because even though silver and gold have gone up a lot this year, it's nowhere near where we think they're going. If you're interested in a precious metals, self-directed precious metals IRA, give us a call. We'll tell you how you can own physical gold and silver in your portfolio. And also, if you're still holding rare coins, it's mandatory you get those swapped into bullion before you get another big run. As I've said many times, over the last 16 years, the rare coin index has gone up 80%, while gold has gone up 550%. And I see no change in the foreseeable future. So get positioned while you have time. Call us at 800-247-2812. That's 800-247-2812. And if you're not getting our email blast, you can sign up right here on FTM Daily /gold, and you can sign up. We don't share your email with anybody. If you decide you don't like it, you can always unsubscribe. But hopefully there's going to be a lot of fireworks coming this fall, politically, geopolitically, and economically. So stay tuned. With this week's Precious Metals Market Update, this is Tom Cloud signing out.